Good evening, card fighters, and welcome back to our Divine Dragon Caper set review. Today we're going to be going over the Aqua Force cards in this set, starting with a Grade 0 stand trigger, Dolphin Soldier of Leaping Windy Seas. That is a lot of words for a pretty decent card. At Generation Break 1 on the rear guard, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard with Thavas in its card name, you may pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets plus 7,000 power until end of that battle. And at the end of that battle, draw a card and put this unit on the bottom of your deck. This can only be used during the wave first or second time, only the first or second battles of the turn, and you have to Soul Blast 1 to do it. This is a pretty neat stand trigger, but I don't know if they're going to run it over the starter deck one, so I'm pretty sure this guy is going to see infinitely less play than that one. But I could see this guy doing well. Having an 11k on your first attack is pretty good. You just have to have Thavas on your Vanguard, so if you miss Ride, it's kind of awkward. But you can also stride into a Thavas nowadays, so it's pretty good. Next we have Battle Siren Malika, a Grade 0 4k draw trigger with the ability activated on rearguard. Choose up to one of your Aqua Force units, and it gets plus 3,000 power until end of turn at the cost of putting it into the soul. This card has been printed a lot of times in a lot of other clans. I think Aqua Force actually has 2 or 3 other ones. And I don't think it's going to see much play because they have better triggers to run nowadays. Next we have a Grade 0 5k heal trigger, Flambe Sailor. It's a heal trigger you're going to play for, but I don't think you'd play this one because I don't like the art on this one. It's pretty lackluster. Our first actual not trigger card, Grade 0 5k Harpoon Draco Kid. It has Forerunner as an automatic ability, and another automatic ability on the rear guard circle. At G-Break, during the 4th battle of the turn only, when this unit attacks a Vanguard for each of your other units with a wave ability, this unit gets plus 4,000 power until end of that battle, and put this unit into your soul at the end of that battle. This is really good in a full wave deck because if you actually do manage to have 5 other wave dudes, that's a total of 20,000 extra power, and that's really good. The problem is getting to that could be an issue, and having a full field full of wave guys might be an issue, because I don't know if you can even run 50 wave guys. But it's a good card. I like this starter. It's an interesting way, and I like how Aqua Force likes to play around with their starters, having neat skills. Next is Blue Wave Recruit Yotis, another Grade 0 5k with Forerunner, an automatic ability, and Rearguard Generation Break 1. When your Vanguard with Blue Wave and its card name attacks, you may pay the cost of Counterblast 1 and put this unit into your soul. If you do, choose one of your rear guards, stand it, and it gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. This card is pretty good. The only thing I could imagine is you not having a good Blue Wave rear guard to use his ability, and he just takes a while to start up because he's a G-Break. But besides that, I think he's pretty good. Next we have Battle Siren Cressidia. An automatic ability on the rear guard. At the beginning of the guard step of the battle that your Vanguard was attacked, you may pay the cost of Soul Blast 1. If you do, move this unit to Guardian Circle, and this unit gets plus 5,000 power until end of that battle. This would be really great if it didn't have to happen during the 4th battle of the turn or more. A lot of decks nowadays can just... they're going to attack with their Vanguard around the 3rd time, so you can't use this as an extra 10k shield against a Vanguard. So it's kind of lackluster in my opinion. Next we have a Grade 1 7k Blue Wave Dragon Submerged Dragon. It's a dragon. I like it. It has a continuous ability on the rear guard. If you have 2 or more cards with a Blue Wave and its original card name on your Vanguard circle, this unit can attack from the back row. It's alright because you have to be in stride, but being able to get to those high wave numbers is pretty good in Blue Wave. But I think you have better Grade 1s that you'd rather run instead of this guy. Next is another Grade 1 7k Blue Wave Soldier Chiman. When this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, if you have 2 or more cards with Blue Wave and its original card name on your Vanguard Circle, you may pay the cost of Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. If you do, choose one of your other units, and that unit and this unit gets plus 4,000 power until end of turn. 11k attacker if you have 2 Blue Waves and can give something else 4k. I think it's alright, but I personally think you'd be better off with other cards. Now, if you run this guy with Blue Wave Submerged Dragon, that might be pretty neat. 2 11k attackers, one of which can attack from the back row. That's alright. I could imagine it seeing play. Next is another grade 1 7k, Kelpie Rider Paul. An automatic ability on the rearguard at the wave third time or more. When this unit attacks or boosts, you may pay the cost of Soul Blast 1. If you do, choose up to 2 of your units and they get plus 2000 power until end of turn. Again, alright, just a little bit of simple power, but I think you can run better cards in this scenario. Next up we have grade 2 9k, Blue Wave Marine General Lucianos. Add an activated ability on the rearguard once per turn. You can counterblast one card with Blue Wave in its card name. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Blue Wave in its card name, till end of the turn, this unit gets plus 2000 power, and on the rearguard, wave time second time only, at the end of the battle that this unit attacked the Vanguard, stand this unit. It basically makes it 11k attacker on the first and second time it attacks, which is really good. You just have to have something to attack with on the rearguard for the first time, so maybe the Blue Wave Dragon from before. This Blue Wave deck could be interesting. I'm seeing a lot of good wave cards. Maybe that starter could actually get there in this scenario. I like the card. I think it could see play. Next we have Blue Wave Marine General Damia, a grade 2 9k. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Blue Wave in its card name attacks, you may pay the cost of Soul Blast 1. If you do, choose your Vanguard and your other rearguard. Those units and this unit get plus 2000 power until end of turn. Again, really good. It's giving plus 2000 to 3 units, including itself and the Vanguard. If you combo this with the with Lucianos, I think it could be really good. Like, this Blue Wave deck seems to be coming together nicely. I just wish they had like a little bit more support, maybe some like really good strides that we may be seeing coming up. This is not the support they need. This is a grade 3 Stragglefin Dragon. This is not the kind of support a Blue Wave deck needs. It has an automatic ability on Vanguard or Rearguard Circle. At G-Break 1, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, this unit gets plus 4000 power until end of turn. End of that battle, rather. And on another automatic ability on the Rearguard, in the fourth time only of Wave, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, you pay the cost of Counterblast 1. If you do stand this unit, this card is garbage. It's a grade 3 10k. It doesn't really do anything on the Vanguard besides occasionally get plus 4000 power. And if you're at playing any strides, you should be able to do that anyway. And it actually hurts your strides to run this card. I would never run it in a deck. Next we get into the rares. The first one is a grade 1 6k Kelpie Rider Valis. It has Sentinel, so you can only have 4 cards with Sentinel in this deck. And then you have an automatic ability. When it's placed on Guardian Circle from hand, you may pay the cost of Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. If you do, call 5 cards from the top of your deck to Guardian Circle. If 2 or more units with Wave ability are called due to this effect, this unit gets plus 5000 power until end of that battle. If 3 or more units with a Wave ability are called due to this effect, countercharge 1. Then, during the first attack, if it attack or boosts, this unit gets plus 2000 power until end of that battle. It doesn't even bounce it back to the hand. I really don't like this card. You might as well be running a Perfect Guard in this scenario. Getting to Countercharge 1 may be a thing, but you're paying a Counterblast 1 and a Soul Blast 1 to do it anyway. You could run better cards. Next we have a grade 2 9k at rare, Kelpie Rider Nikiatus. On an automatic ability in the wave first or second time. When this unit attacks a grade 3 or greater Vanguard, this unit gets plus 2000 power until end of turn. I like how it technically, you don't have to be at G-Break to use that skill, but it does have a G-Break skill. And at the end of the battle that this unit attacked a Vanguard, you pay the cost of Counterblast 1. If you do, switch positions. It's pretty good, but I think there are better wave cards that boost and give this thing power. I think you could run a better grade 2, but by itself it's alright. I could consider seeing it in a Blue Wave deck. Speaking about a Blue Wave deck, grade 3 11k, Blue Wave Marine General Yason. An automatic ability on Vanguard, when your G unit with Blue Wave in its original card name strides during your turn, choose up to 1 card from your hand with Blue Wave in its card name, call it to Rearguard, choose a Rearguard with Blue Wave in its card name, and until end of turn it gets an automatic ability on the Rearguard at the beginning of the battle that this unit attacked a Vanguard. Choose this unit and one of your other Rearguards in the same column as this unit and exchange their positions. If you're striding a lot in a Blue Wave deck, this is really good. The only issue is I don't think you'd want to swap positions that often. So you either run cards like this or you run cards like the previous card, Nikitas. But this card's fine. I can see it seeing a bit of play. Next, we have Marine General of Twin Bullets, Creatus. This is your other budget blue wave option. Except it's technically not blue wave, but you run it in the wave deck, so whatever. G-Break 2 in the wave third time only during the third attack of the turn. When your Vanguard attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, stand this unit for the cost of Counterblast 1. And if this unit that attacked has the wave ability, this unit gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. So your Vanguard has to attack third, which is going to happen, and this unit gets plus 2,000 power. It's alright. And then, when it's placed on Vanguard Circle, you may pay the cost of Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1. If you do, look at the top 5 cards from the top of your deck, search for up to one card with wave ability, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. While this can't search up perfect cards like the Brave one or the Bloom one can, I still think this card's alright, because all the wave cards are really good. Moving into the double rares, we have Battle Siren Jenka, a grade 2 9k, with an automatic ability on the rear guard, G-Break, during wave third time or more. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard with Thavis in its card name, you may pay the cost of Soul Blast 1. If you do for each of your other units with a wave ability, this unit gets plus 4,000 power until end of turn. End of battle, rather. This card is a lot like the starter, and I think it's really good like the starter is, because if you can get that miraculous 20 boost, that is insane. But I don't think that's going to happen, but even if this one gets just plus 4, it's pretty good by itself, and each other boost outside of that is even better. So I like this card. Now our first G-Guardian, and I think our last G-Guardian of the Aqua Force review, Blue Storm Deterrence Dragon Ice Barrier Dragon. Wow, that's a lot of words for an alright card. It's obviously a grade 4 G-Guardian, so it has no power, so it's a 15,000 shield, however. And during the first time or fourth time or more in a wave, when this unit is placed on Guardian Circle, this unit gets plus 10,000 power until end of that battle. So it's guarding for 25,000 power during the first time that an opponent attacks you, or any subsequent super powerful attacks. This is really good against kinds like Nova Grappler that can power up their Sazanda to like 7 billion power a turn. But otherwise, I still think it's a fine card, because if they attack you with their Vanguard first, then you guard for 25k, which is really good. It's better than the other one that they have, and I think this card will see play in your decks. Next, we have the first Stride of the Aqua Force set review, Blue Wave Brave General Artyom. It's a Stride, and an automatic ability on Vanguard, when your rear guard with Blue Wave in its card name attacks, that unit gets plus 3,000 power until end of that battle. That right there is insane. That's a really good ability, because you don't have to even pay a cost for it. It's just, oh, you have a Blue Wave in its card name, give it a little bit of extra power. That makes the grade 1 double dragon, Blue Wave dragon, he's really good with this card, because he's a 10k attacking, can attack anything, doesn't have to attack the Vanguard for that skill to come into play, I believe. And then Artyom has an activated ability. Once per turn on Vanguard, you can Soul Blast a card with Blue Wave in its card name. Look at 7 cards from the top of your deck, search for up to one grade 3 card with Blue Wave in its card name from among them, place it on your Vanguard as your heart, and shuffle your deck. If you placed one or more cards, put all of your heart cards other than the cards placed due to this effect into your drop zone. I don't know why you want to fix your heart in Blue Wave. Maybe to get your, I believe it's Tetra Boil out. But I think you'd be better off just keeping your dude and keeping the Soul Blast, because it doesn't really gain you any card advantage. It just gets rid of a grade 3 from your deck. Sometimes, maybe. But you're still going to run this guy, because that first ability is fantastic. Next, we have into the triple rares. I believe this is the only triple rare. Blue Storm Helical Dragon Disaster Maelstrom. It's Maelstrom support again. An automatic ability on the Vanguard Circle. When this unit attacks, if you have a heart card with Maelstrom in its card name, you may pay the cost of choosing a face down this guy from your G-Zone and turning it face up. If you do, search for up to one card with your deck with Maelstrom in its card name, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your deck. And if you have a card with Maelstrom in its card name in your soul already, choose up to 3 units in the front row, and they get plus 5,000 power until end of turn. This is really good. It helps you set up the Maelstrom Break Ride if you don't already have that. Or if you're out on the Maelstrom Break Ride, it helps you do something and help you guarantee break riding into Glory Maelstrom. But even if you already have done the brake ride and they're still not dead for some reason, you can give your entire front row plus 5,000 power, and that means he's attacking by himself with 31,000 power, and that's really good. Next, we have the Generation Rare, one of the only two in the set, Storm of Lament Wailing Thavas. It's a grade 4 stride with 15,000 additional power to your Vanguard, and I'm going to go over the G-Break 2 ability first. During the wave third time or more, when this unit attacks, you may pay the cost of Counterblast 1. If you do until end of that battle, this unit gets plus 5,000 for each battle that a rearguard attacked during this turn, and your opponent cannot call grade 1s cards from hand to Guardian Circle. They can't perfect guard, and you retire at least 3 units. Because you have to have wave third time or more for this ability to work. That is great. Well, it gets plus 5,000 power. I'm confusing the abilities a little bit. But you're at least getting plus 15,000 power, and they can't perfect guard it. That is an amazing ability. And that's not the only ability he has, even. He has a Generation Break 3 ability, also in the Vanguard. When this unit attacks, for each battle that a rearguard attacked during this turn, your opponent chooses one of his or her rearguards and retires it. Oh my word. That is an amazing ability. They just retire like at least 3 dudes if you get the second ability off. And even if they were only retiring 2 because you got to only attack with your front row because you're super behind, that's retiring 2 units for essentially free on your second stride. This card is insane. If you are playing Aqua Force, you are playing this card. There is no doubt about it. You're not going to run it as a 4 of because you don't have to flip. You don't even have to flip any of this guy over as a cost. Like, the most expensive he gets is Counterblast 1. And this guy is amazing. Like, I'm upset that I'm not able to purchase too much of this set because I want as many of this guy in my collection as I can get. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the Aqua Force set review. Tune in tomorrow when we cover the... It's a shorter video because it's Gear Chronicle. They only have a couple cards, but it's pretty good. Maybe I'll mix in a couple of surprises in there as well. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.